How are you guys doing today? Welcome to my show today. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Lance, one half of Toxic Coffin.
I'm Steven, the other half Toxic Coffin.
So two man operation right there.
Yep.
So what's the Toxic Coffins all about? How did the name came from, and what was a really bright idea for it?
I mean, Lance and I grew up together, and we've always wanted to do something like horror related. Uh, and just when the pandemic happened, we just had way more time to talk and stuff like that. And so, uh, just had been kicking around the idea of doing something for fun. We'd been like focusing a lot on like writing music together. And then Lance had just had a baby, so we didn't have time to like play music a whole bunch, and just ideas after ideas. I was like, let's just start a merch company. Let's do it. And so yeah, we just dove in, and I don't know the name. We just wanted something that just was catchy and kind of fun at the same time too. Uh, I don't know. We like slime and like weird 80s trash movies, and so it just felt like felt like a
It's
good
that's
name.
it's a fitting style, like really fitting style, like early '80s to early 2000s. No, that was like the best era right there. A really great era before all the, I don't know how you call it. In my opinions on movies or other stuff like that, it's like the same thing. Like
The paranormal
Paranormal
activities. No, I'm just kidding.
Activities through comedy zombies. It's like we need another George Romero, because let's admit, foreign films are actually killing it nowadays.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I it's funny. I guess just like and stuff like that have the money, they're going to continue to make all the like mainstream movies to, I guess, attract younger, newer audiences to horror. But yeah, definitely like foreign films and some more of the art houses like A24 and stuff like that. They've been crushing it. So psyched. I feel like now more than ever, there's more independent, filmmakers that have like more opportunity to put stuff out there that isn't just like some random B movie that you would never see in like the
B
80s or
movie.
whatever. But,
Yeah. Like
but yeah.
what was I gonna say? That's fairly true about A24. I mean, especially coming from him. Like going from directors, trying some new scenarios, like looking at a horror movie, from an A24. It's like, okay, this looks horrible. As soon as you watch it, it starts off from drama, and then at the end, it goes through like the last minute of horror. It's like letting it all out. It's like a build up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
a slow burn.
The slow burn right
Yeah,
there.
they're definitely, they're
Yeah.
not all for everybody. That's for sure. My
Ah,
wife and I uh, hadn't seen Midsummer, and we recently just watched that the other night, and she was just like, "What the hell are we watching?"
Yeah. Have you
which.
guys been able to make heads or tails of it so far?
I think
My
so.
mom, my mom wasn't able to make heads or tails of it after. I mean, I didn't either. You know.
Sure.
Um. But what were you guys' like first impressions after seeing that movie?
I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I thought the movie was incredible in terms of the visual aspects of what you're experiencing throughout the entire thing. I thought it was magic. But the way that he also incorporates all of the emotional trauma that character goes throughout the entire movie and really makes manifest the horrors that she's experiencing internally, externally throughout the film, like all of the how she's experiencing the world is being manifest in all these gruesome, terrible ways that is really hard to capture through dialogue, but through the gruesome graphic images that he's able to exploit, you're able to feel what she's feeling internally through the visual images that he uses. So it's really really powerful in terms of being able to connect to the characters in a more gripping way than just relying on maybe empathy, where it might not be as easy for some people to use like an empathic image to be more effective, where you can use those really gruesome, horrific aspects to tie into what's going on with her. So that was my interpretation of it.
Yeah, it's I like how Ari Aster like kind of has created almost like a world for his movies, like even Hereditary. Like it seems like there's very similar shared, like I don't
Yeah, he
know,
says they're
similar,
like cousin or sister movies or something like that, and
yeah,
It's like
and
it's like a
share very
sister and
similar
brother movie
themes, and they're
because
very similar in structure.
it's like you got
yeah,
the
I don't know. There's
king.
something about
I'm sorry, you got the king
yeah, and
and
they have similar builds and kind of similar resolutions. It seems like at the end of the films, but yeah, I don't know. There's something just like kind of incredible about that movie being so bright and airy, but then how like harrowing it is. Like it's truly like a terrible movie about a horrible
It's very
relationship.
oxymoronic.
yeah, like this
And
would
did you
have.
know that he wrote that movie because of a bad breakup that he had?
Yep.
I always
Yeah.
think like, man, I can't imagine the person he was dating that he was like this.
Yeah. Right when I saw it, I went through like probably, one of the worst breakups that I went through too. That was really, watching all the interviews with him afterwards, it was just kind of like, whoa. Just kind of, came at a really cool time in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know.
Um, so going back to kind of your guys' clothing line, and you guys said you guys love, 80s cheesy 80s movies, and are you guys metalheads at all? Do you guys listen to like rock and metal music at all?
Sure.
I mean, we played in band together in high school and through college, and we definitely kind of grew up on like more traditional hardcore and metal, and like we
Awesome.
came out of like the whole like screamo era, and
Hmm.
then like really dove into more of like I don't know, noise. If anything, like we were like our favorite bands were like the Locust and like pretty much anything that was on 31G and
There's a
like
local noise band down in Florida too.
Yeah, Daughters and Some Girls and
yeah,
all those bands.
yeah. Converge was always like one of
Oh,
our
Converge. I
biggest,
haven't seen, I haven't heard of Converge in such a good minute. Last time I saw Converge was like 8 to 9 years ago. Can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's probably been that long for me
It's been a
too.
while. You were at the Harrisonburg show, right?
Yeah.
We saw them in it was at a Mexican restaurant they played with Modern Life is War, Some Girls, and
Them. That was just them. Yeah.
But it was like the
Restaurant.
craziest
Wow.
show. We were like, what? There's like a
Wait,
buffet.
at a
and
Mex
everything.
at a Mexican restaurant.
What's that?
At a Mexican restaurant, you just said.
Yeah.
Wow.
No way.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
No way. Like
It was in like a tiny little mountain college town. So I don't know. I was
That's
talking to
awesome.
somebody else about this, and I was
that's
just like,
crazy.
I
Cause
feel
like
like
cause like in Florida, we have a venue that's like super small, like the size of this room, and
The
we
hole in the wall?
not it's like in Orlando. I want to say. I think
Oh.
you've been there, Sam. Like I forgot.
I
Uncles.
haven't been to any venues in Orlando. I've just been in the Tampa area.
Oh, I forgot you're from Tampa.
Yeah.
God, and then we could just go back to noise in the wall, where it's like a really small room and it's all inmate. I want to say, and it's like, yeah, you're really close to the band. You want to enjoy the
So
band, but you
fun.
have the mosh pit on your back, so you're getting hit on the back like
There's
repeatedly.
there's nothing like it, man. It's so fun.
Yeah,
um,
that's the environment we grew up in, playing in Virginia Beach. That's where
Oh, so do you guys listen to Left Behind at all?
what's that?
Do you guys know the band Left Behind?
I don't think so.
Not
I
too.
think they're where did you say where did you say?
Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. Yeah, I think they have an album called or a song called West by God. I don't know if that rings a bell or not. But I think they're from that area. But they played in a 7-Eleven somewhere actually. There's a video on
Oh,
Twitter of them just like they're
Seven
just like this
Eleven.
That
Left
would not
Behind
that would not
playing in a
surprise me.
Oh,
Man,
imagine
it
just
gets
That would not surprise me in
better.
Virginia
It gets better. It gets better. I think this will ring your heads. What the fuck is up, Denny's?
I've seen that going around. That's all.
Yeah.
That video though is so. I don't know, man. Like we used to have shows. There was a sushi restaurant called Fuji's that we used to have shows at, and like was it who all? Every Time I Die played that.
Yeah, Evergreen Terrace played there. Like,
Oh my god,
it
Evergreen
was
Terrace is a
nuts.
local band here.
It was like this tiny little sushi hibachi restaurant, and like I don't know, we had like a really fun DIY like punk and metal scene for a while, and it's super died out. I mean, I feel like in general, just like even seeing some of the bands that we still like you only see them at like medium-sized clubs nowadays and stuff.
Yeah, or gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, those are gonna make a rise by the time the pandemic is gone. I mean, we already lost like
Comeback.
we already when shows are back. Yeah, we already lost two big venues. So like I'm like, all right, I guess small shows are gonna make a comeback. So I guess we get to see what's the most hardcore band that we know? Like think between Florida to West Virginia to Georgia, because all I can think of is like, yeah, we get to see maybe we get to see George. No, maybe we
Hope
get to see Cannibal
Foundation come
Corpse.
back to life.
Cannibal
But
Corpse
man,
in a noise box. Like, hey, it's hot in here.
wow, that would be
Right.
crazy. Yeah, windmills us down.
Windmill. Yeah, it's hot in here. Yeah, turn on the fan. A human fan.
That's hilarious. So speaking of the metal music and horror and everything, kind of seems like a perfect combination for this next question I have. I don't know if you guys would ever, you know, give away your future plans or whatever, but have you guys ever thought about doing like a Doom, like the game Doom, like any merchandise for the game Doom or collabs or whatever?
We talked about a game once that we thought would be fun to do something for. We haven't talked about Doom.
We talked about Castlevania.
Yeah,
because
that's
we
what it was.
we I mean we love. I mean I love the game. I don't know how much Steven's ever played the game, but we definitely love the new Netflix series that is the anime for Castlevania. The art style in that is really, really sick. So that was the only game that we'd really touched on. But I mean, I'd love to do crossover video game stuff in the future. But it kind of, I don't know. I really like, there's a brand called Youth Energy, and they do a lot of crossover game stuff. Like they just did a 007 drop, which was really sick.
Oh,
Like GoldenEye, they did a GoldenEye
wow.
Yeah,
64.
these are the guy that did Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, heck yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
It's really
they do a lot of cool stuff like that. So
Howie.
I want to find like stuff that still feels really in tune with like what we really like, because that's
Yeah.
the vein that we're staying in, is like
Mm-hmm.
making sure that we're really passionate about whatever like property we're trying to create something for,
Mm-hmm.
because that passion that comes with every single package that we send out has to be there for it to really feel right. So like
Absolutely.
whenever you get something from us, we want it to feel like a really curated experience as you're opening things up, taking stuff apart, finding out like what we sent with the shirt that
Yeah.
you get to be surprised by. That like that we that's probably the most fun part for us, is coming up
fun. Like
how everything goes together.
seeing the red bag, the cards, the pin, the sand. It's like, oh, that's sick as fuck. I mean, I put it right next to my my rare collectives. Like I don't let no one touch it at all. So like every time when someone's looking for their headphones, they left them room, was like, do not touch this box. I don't even touch this box at all. As soon as I get something like that looks really nice, it look like a really nice relic and something like that, I just put it in my box. I don't touch it again until maybe I want to look at it. Maybe I want to look at it again. I mean, that's where I put my rare my rare $2 in, my rare $2 in, my rare CDs, my rare trading cards in. I don't let no one touch it. So when someone touches it, I turn into Sleepover Massacre. Like I will find you, and I will find you if I find out who touches it. Like
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see him. I've only seen him go like that once, and it was in a mosh pit.
It's scary. It's really, really scary. I mean,
It is.
I
It
mean,
is
yeah. I
got a
mean,
lot of
like,
power.
I mean, I wish, my friend is still doing. My friend in Neon can still do more horror films, and I'm like, dude, I can be the scariest ghost. I can be the scariest person. You know, I. It's a lot of brutality, and it's like, okay, yeah, you gotta. I can play as a really good method character one day. I just gotta know how to use the emotions and all that.
You could
Yeah.
be the next Leo.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Leo's a not a method character. I want to say the next will be
Christian
right.
Bale's a method actor.
Yeah, because of the weight losses and
That was crazy.
it's
For what was that
crazy.
movie? The
The
Machinist.
Yeah,
machinist.
dude.
Oh,
Oh
God, that was a
man,
really
that's I
brutal.
love that movie. That is that is so crazy to me that there's like no CGI done to him or
None.
anything,
He's
man.
just
dude, it
lost a
was,
lot of weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
he only eats.
yeah. I read he ate like a hard boiled egg and like
It
a
was
bottle of water.
it was a can of tuna or an apple a day
Yeah,
or
that's
something like that.
Oh
It
man,
was that was
apparently.
the diet because apparently you can survive off that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm very curious. Going to appearance, what do you guys think of weight changes? What was like your strong reaction with when you see Hawkwind Phoenix? Everybody's so used to seeing him buff back in the days, but now everyone's so used to seeing him skinny. But as soon as you see him in person, he's like really chunk. But what do you guys think of his character? What would be a great way for him to execute more, being a really a scary method character?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's interesting. I guess it's really looking at it. It's also, I guess, is more impressive to realize that that person actually did that to their body just for a role when you think about it.
Mhm.
And so that can be really striking when you're experiencing the movie, so that it feels so much more visceral and real because you're not relying on CGI or anything like that to manipulate the way they look. So that can make it really stand out and adds that like gravitas to that experience instead of like using practical effects versus using CGI. You're
Yeah.
using a human practical effect
Yeah.
versus using you know some kind of Marvel movie character that
Yeah.
they're getting shaped up and they're just wearing a green
Sure.
suit the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it totally becomes more effective when they're able to achieve some feat of human movement, whether it's them getting huge and jacked for the role or it's them like completely distorting their body to achieve that. I mean, like thinking about Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot making the damn cast carry him around and pretending like he was
Sure.
paraplegic the whole time. It's those types of feats, and I mean they become legend, which is really cool. Like still talking about the machinist today, just for how
Yeah.
dramatic he was
He
achieving
could
that.
have he could have put some serious health conditions, some
Yeah.
Yeah.
serious health implications, and then he put on like 100 pounds, like less than like a few, like 6 or 7 or 8, 9 months later for Batman Begins for that. Like
Yeah.
that is ridiculous. And I didn't know that Daniel Day-Lewis, did he wear the prosthetic like
Yeah, like I mean,
all
he's
the time?
he's the archetype of method actor,
Is yeah,
from what
yeah,
you hear. So like, yeah,
Sure.
there's stories of him making the crew carry him around on set like he would not move, like he was that character the entire time, like he did not break it. So it's
that's
intense,
awesome.
that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure that's got to be fucking ridiculous for the crew to be like, dude, you can fucking walk, just get
Yeah,
up. But it turns into, but that's how you get that performance on the screen, is
yeah.
that commitment, I guess.
And I don't, there really hasn't been a person before him that did that. I mean, like there was like Marlon Brando who was very dedicated to the craft and everything. But I feel like Daniel Day is really like one of the only ones who's really hit that level, set the bar that high. I don't, you know what I mean?
Probably like De Niro, probably Jack Nicholson a little bit.
Nicholson could do it. Yeah, Nicholson's
Nicholson.
awesome.
Nicholson can play a really good method character. I mean, to be honest, I could see him play as the next Joker or a next Joker like movie. Like,
He played the Joker already.
oh, my dumbass. Excuse me.
Yeah,
It's
he,
like
he did a great job. You're
he did a
right.
great job. Like when I think of Jack Nicholson, I think of like he could play. He could go back playing as the Joker, but like in what's that?
He could reprise the role. Yeah, that'd be
Reprise a
awesome.
role or reference the role. Like what's that one movie that they had the evil Superman in it? Bright. It's a Brightburn. There we go.
Right.
Yeah,
Brightburn.
I never
I
saw that.
100%. When I first saw the trailer for that movie, I was like, "Oh, this is a new Superman movie with like a weird like,
Right?
dark origin." Because I don't really like follow like I'm not that into like superhero movies. I don't follow like the Marvel universe or DC or whatever. And so I was just like, "Oh yeah, this is the next Marvel movie."
It's like
And they
watch.
got into some horror
It's like
horror
watch. Why
stuff
does it
this
look so
time.
dark? It's supposed to be like Marvel. Fox, what did you do? Oh my God! He just killed his own father, and now he's like a maniac in that.
Yo, fuck Fox, man. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the movie I know Antlers that was supposed to come out. It's a Guillermo del Toro produced Wendigo movie, and it was supposed to
I
come out
remember
like
seeing things for it.
Mm-hmm.
We
yeah.
talked about it. I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything from it. Has it not come out or
Well,
did?
no, it got pulled back, and then it got a release date a couple months ago, and then it got taken off the release schedule again. So
So it's
maybe
like
they're just planning for it to be released digitally. I hope it's a video on demand, release. I wouldn't mind not seeing it in a theater. I don't really see a reason why. Of course, being in a theater is awesome, but
It's an
not like it's
experience.
a yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah,
I feel like I would be equally immersed as if I was watching it at home.
yeah. It's like the worst part is
Not
that
like Dune. Like Dune's gonna be released on video on demand, which is
it's like throwing away your masterpiece right there.
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
he has no control over it. He really has no control over it because at the end of the day, I think the distribution company owns it, or I don't think technically Denny Villeneuve owns it. Villeneuve, how do you pronounce his last name? I don't
No
think he
idea.
technically owns the movie. I think the studio owns the movie.
Yep.
it's usually how it goes. But
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully, a lot of the movies that do get released during this time do get a proper release in theaters, at least some point. Because I can only imagine that seeing Dune in IMAX, the way that it's shot just from the trailer looks like it would be epic in IMAX. So like being able
Yeah,
to see that one day, hopefully they'll figure that out. And I guess it really depends on how it does video on demand. So if there's a big push for it there, and I can't imagine that it wouldn't have a big demand, that they can release it one day
Yeah.
in theaters.
unless you have a built-in theater in your room.
Right.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
built an IMAX theater in your house somehow.
That'd be impossible. Built-in
Yeah.
built-in theater is better because you could just like get like $140 projector. All you gotta need to do is replace the glass, with something like I forgot how this one kid used to do, and then choose a room that you want to get rid of to turn into a theater. Replace all the floor, which you could just call the floor mats people. Replace it with what you call it? I call it like cat crusty back. So like cat crusty back. I don't really know how you pronounce that kind of foam. Then gets four chairs, or if you have the swagger wagon, you could just take those seats out and put it in that room and replace. If you got leather, you could replace the leather with the cat back, scratchy cat back foam into it, and then yeah, you made yourself a theater. And optional is that you can make your own bar to it, your own
Yeah.
snack bar. Now that's
That'd
not
be awesome.
that'd be awesome. I mean, you don't have to look at rich people's movie theater like it is. If you could just make one, it will take you about like 800 to 1500 to
It's
do
not
that.
horrible for your own movie theater. That's not horrible,
Yeah, it's
man.
not that bad. All you gotta do is just do the whole thing yourself.
I wonder how much like a 35 millimeter film projector would be.
oh gosh, I can't even imagine.
Gosh.
And then you got to find the film. That's got to be even like
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even know if you can.
nowadays it's easy because all you got to do is just get the get this chord and just be like, okay, let me put that in. Let me put that bad boy in. There we go. Back in the days, yeah, you're right. It's really hard to find a film, and
Yeah,
yeah, to buy one of those films, like it's like big money right there. So, because
yeah,
like
to buy like a film spool,
because you're carrying a what you would call it. You're carrying
a
a
spool.
a
Is that the word?
spool. Yeah, I think that's how you call it. A spool. Really depends what movies. Like I said, nowadays you could just digitally send it over. It'll be an
Yeah.
instant release. But to others it's like it'll take like a week or day. It's like a selected city.
Right.
Someday I want to rent out like a theater that does 35 millimeter showings, and I want to see like top three movies would be like 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Big Lebowski, and probably Pulp Fiction are the three 35 millimeter film movies I'd want to see, or maybe like Alien. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be sick.
That'd be super dope.
Yeah. So yeah, other thing, relating to appearance. So let's say we get a really skinny person like the machinist, the machinist, whatever people like to pronounce it. What kind of horror or another or drama would you guys like to see, and like you can name anything.
What do you mean exactly? Like
Like
what actor?
yeah, let's say it's just skinny Christian Bale, right? And you put him into another drama or horror movie to it. What would it be?
Mm,
Hmm. Another movie that exists or another movie that we can make up?
Makeup or exist? I'm saving the makeup for last because that's what its appearance is all about.
Sure.
Like that's what appearance is all about. Like what makes us scarier? What makes us scary looking? So looking at Christian Bale is like an example of putting it into a horror movie. It doesn't have to be like a killer movie or psychological or horror or other thing. It could be just well, yeah, it has to be psychological because without it, it's not a horror film. So let's take Lords of Chaos for example. It's considered a horror film,
Is
but
it?
yeah, it's considered a horror film. It's
Why?
because the
Because there's
controversy,
blood and the man kills himself and it's scary.
and the whole burzum that it's like Hereditary. It's like the last 10 minutes of horror. That's what Lords of Chaos looks like. So let's say you put skinny Christian Bale into any of those kind of films. What would it be? To me, I would
Man,
say
I don't know.
Public Enemy. Instead of the giant spider, you see Christian Bale just standing there.
Wait, you mean Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess the first thing that came to mind was Escape from New York, and I would just like to see him as like this crazy character in that world, as him just super skinny running running around as like a antagonist to Kurt Russell in that movie would be kind of sick.
Oh God, poor. As soon as you say Escape from New York, I was like, oh, poor Christian Bale. What did I mention you? Like, Escape from New York. Imagine it's just a reboot, and Kurt Russell just disappointed. It's like, why?
well, they are supposed to be rebooting that, aren't they? Like, I think it's in like production limbo, but yeah, Escape from New York. I think they're redoing it, which
I don't
is
think I don't think so. I heard
like
about it.
Robert Rodriguez was like on task to direct it.
Oh God. Oh
And I
God.
think
I
it's
can't take.
I think it's being done by. I want to say it's being done by the guy that did Saw now.
Oh, thank God. If it's
James
if
Caan?
I
Yeah,
can't take Robert Rodriguez seriously. Like
What movies did he do?
he did.
Dusk for Dawn. Uh, oh my gosh, he did my brain's-
Planet
Planet
Terror.
Terror.
Spy Kids, Machete.
My
I
kids.
can't take him serious. Every time when I bring up Robert Rodriguez, it's like I can't take him serious because
Spy Kids?
you got Spy Kids and Machete, and they're both canon. Like
And Danny Trejo is also in Spy Kids or
yeah,
one of the
it's
two.
the same
Yeah.
name. This the
Robert Rodriguez is making bank off Spy Kids.
like
He's making cash
Yo,
off
I was
Spy Kids.
obsessed with those
That is
movies as a
those
kid,
those
man.
checks are still coming for Spy
God,
Kids.
They best be. Those are classic.
it's a
Those are
fucking
like staples of
classic.
cinema, man.
Yeah.
Like like you can't tell me it's a classic film with Elijah. What's his name? A lot the guy from Lords
Elijah
of
Wood.
Elijah Woods. You know, come in 10 seconds, cyberpunk looking, and be like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." Kill him off in 10 seconds. You can't tell me it's the best film. You can't tell me that's the best film they put. You know, like logical and illogical moment into it. It's like you introduce a really badass character and be like, just kill him off like that. It's like unexpectedly.
Yo, Brad Pitt did that in 2 movies, actually. I thought it was just in Deadpool 2 when he was that invisible character and they were all flying down and he died on the electric wires or whatever, and he
Mhm.
was there for like a second, like a split second. I thought that was the only cameo he did like that, but he also did a cameo like that in Being John Malkovich.
I
Um,
haven't seen that movie in a hot minute.
yeah, yeah, it was somewhere like in like some footage of after he had gotten famous for puppeteering, I think. Um, he was hanging out with Brad Pitt, and it just like panned over to Brad Pitt for like 2 seconds, and that was it. And I don't know, I just thought that was cool that Brad Pitt does things like that. It just kind of shows
Gosh,
that he doesn't really
it's
care about the
like
fame and stuff.
it's like
You know?
you get a famous waste.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of. It's just fun to have those little like I don't know Easter egg cameos. You're like, what? Like, all right,
yeah.
cool, works
And
for me.
it's just cool to see that because there's a lot of actors in Hollywood that are so stuck up and I'm too good for that or that's stupid, you know. And
Sean Peel.
Brad Pitt, like he literally showed up. He took time out of his schedule to show up on set to like film, 2 second shot for Deadpool too. You
Yeah,
know
you almost think like he just thinks the project's cool. He wants to jump in it and do something silly, and so I think that's rad.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Give it
like
maybe a little bit of credit on the side, as a little plus. You know what I mean?
Sure.
and then everyone gets to be like, "Holy shit, was that Brad Pitt?"
I for my mom and I saw what? Is that Brad Pitt?
I mean, Brad Pitt's gonna get his own solo movie now.
Right?
I mean, did
That'd
he
be
really
awesome.
die? Really?
Yeah. They should make a little short film about it.
Hey, I mean, Disney can make short films about other characters to it. Or there's this one show where in the movie they killed them off, but there's a show where they gave those characters that died off a backstory or at least an episode, and then
That'd be cool.
when they reached the movie, they met their demise. Forgot what that one movie, but like it was really interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So another thing, another really interesting about it is I'm gonna reference the Thing because the Thing is like my most talked about film because I could just come up with mixing humans with whatever creature with it, or like when I saw that film, it's like why don't I all see a human mixed with another kind of another kind of creature, you know. So if you were to mix, let's say Kurt Russell did not make it, what would you mix Kurt Russell with anything?
I've always wanted to see what a human and squid or a human and octopus combo would look like. Whether it would look like a mermaid with like tentacles on the bottom, with like a squid bottom.
Lighthouse.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The Lighthouse.
Or
Or would it be like more Cthulhu like?
yeah,
Cthulhu.
exactly. Or like the guy from Pirates of Davy Jones. Is that the guy from Pirates of the
I think
Caribbean?
that's who it was. That was his character in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the octopus dude with the octopus beard. Yeah, I would love to see a human octopus hybrid. That would be sick.
Yeah, that's where my mind went to, thinking about like an alternate ending to that movie, like a giant squid thing comes up out of the ice and takes and
Yeah.
takes over Kurt Russell, and he turns into the demon alien creature thing.
Or just a narwhal Kurt Russell just pops through.
Narwhal Kurt Russell's like
Like, see
it's
you later, guys.
Directed by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
he just comes to the city and the first thing is, hey bro, you okay? It's like, yeah man, I'm okay. Like just like that.
Be pretty sick.
It's pretty gross, but hey, I mean we need more movies like this nowadays.
Yeah.
They show it's like PG-13 movies but R-rated. So I think of Hellfest, not that much
Mhm.
gore into it. Really nice setting, and it's like okay, yeah, something gory is about to happen. No, just go oh, you stabbed me. Let me go. Let me get
That was
down.
the one. That was the one where they go to the amusement park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was okay. I wasn't too upset. We actually saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
It
I've
was.
heard
I
good
think
things about it.
I had. I feel like I had more attachment to that movie because for 2 seasons I worked at an amusement park doing like their Halloween haunt type thing. So I was like, I kind of get this, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. But
It wasn't too bad at all. Like, like I could. Every time someone talks about this film, it's like it always comes from. Excuse me. It always comes from a amusement park worker. Talking
sure.
about like, yeah, I see some people sneaking in this and that. Like, I mean, you don't need to sneak in like how for Howling Horror Nights, but you get to they sneak in like boozes and all that. I actually, it was a really scary story. Kind of going to another topic right now. I actually had a scary story when I was a Lyft driver, and I was like, oh god, oh god, it was really terrifying. I was taking these college kids to the Halloween Horror Nights, which is the Halloween event in Universal, and
Mhm.
I saw one of them carry a pocket knife. It was like one of those Norwegian sharpened Norwegian edition sharpened ones. I recognized that, and as soon as I saw, it, I was like, it came out. It came out on the floor of my car when he was getting out. I was like,
What
just
do you need that for?
what do you need that
Yeah,
for, buddy?
geez.
They all look so sketchy. They had a conversation. One chick had a hoodie on like this, while the other guy's just buff dude, tank top, just like that. And it's like, oh,
Sketch.
sketch. It was really sketchy. I was just blasting some Slipknot. Just drinking my Monster Energy drink, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're also quiet. You guys are supposed to be lit. You guys smell like cigarettes with weed, and then drop them off. It's like, happy Halloween. Knife dropped. I was like, oh god. Oh god, I want to
Jeez.
be involved with it. Yeah, maybe I should have reported it, but nah, they're gonna find me and just be like, yeah, what you want to report? What's that one movie where they all these dudes came to the house? Last House to the Left. There we go. Last House to the Left reference right
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like one of
it's a
those.
brutal movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh god, every time someone said, well, yeah, I guess House to the Left is brutal, but I Spit in Your Grave is better.
Sure.
I would say so. It's just visually better
Yeah,
I mean, they're
too,
both
as
mean.
well. Huh?
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're both pretty much the same movie, aren't they?
almost the
Mm,
same,
Like,
except
I mean,
isn't it basically just like a girl who gets sexually assaulted and she gets revenge? Isn't that the gist of both movies?
yeah.
I want to say the family comes after the gang while the character goes after the gang. Yeah, they're both the same film, except one is just horrifically horrifically,
Yeah,
while the
the
other one just kills one by one brutally. My
Sure.
favorite part is putting the head inside of the microwave. I actually clapped in that film. I was like, and and people looked at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with your son?" And he was like, and they were like, "Oh no, he's just no. I want to clap. If there's gonna be a good death, you gotta clap in that film because if you
yeah,
don't
for
clap in
real.
it, or
I
you're
remember my favorite kill was the only one I remember was the shotgun. where she sticks it up the dude. It was in the remake of one of the either the first or the second remake of the I Spit on Your Grave, and she stuck the shotgun up the dude's ass and shot it, and it showed the shot,
No
and
way.
this
Hey,
kind
hey,
of
don't
brings
spoil it. I
brings you.
forgot which one is it. I watched the classic one.
I think that was the remake of the first one. I think,
I haven't seen any
but
of the remakes. I've only seen just the original I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah,
But
the
that
original was
brings me
brutal.
to like practical effects again, and or practical effects because I just think they're superior, to be honest. Um, and I'm human hybrids. It, we were talking about that earlier. I was thinking of the movie The Fly, the remake with Jeff Goldblum,
Yep.
and how just nuts that scene looked where like he's finally shedding and he's finally becoming like the fly at the end, and it like splits in half and he just becomes it's just so nasty and
Are you
it
talking
looks
about?
so
Oh god, I don't want
brutal.
to piss you guys off. The District 9.
District 9 was District 9's a perfect example of like a mixture of like practical and CGI. I think CGI is like a perfect, or I think District 9 is like a perfect movie, to be honest.
yeah,
I
it's not
love that
bad.
movie.
When the films, I mean, obviously we're suckers for practical effects, but like
Yeah,
if a film can blend CGI with practical effects, then I mean, I think that has to be the future, just be,
yeah,
I mean, from like timing and like financial constraints that, movies don't have nowadays, but the practical effects, it's like, we got to shoot this scene for 2 weeks. And they're like, nah, we don't, we're not going to do that.
yeah.
So they can do it
And
right. It works.
if you do it right, it works. Like in The Lighthouse, there was CGI in The Lighthouse. I didn't even know that. It was when he was beating the bird. Some of the blood was CGI, and it's like you don't even notice. And if you just do it, if you mix it perfectly like that, and it's perfect. It's like you said, it's the future. It's beautiful. It's the best of both worlds. I think you could use both and make a perfect movie, or try your hardest to.
Yeah, nowadays it's like we're getting close to realism, like really, really close. Instead of just making it look fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with all the crazy, like, face, like, super fakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, and we are just like, it's gonna be weird when they're like, oh, we don't need this person. We just have their
Yeah. Just recast somebody after they finish the film and just deep fake their face into that'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh God, oh man, don't bring that up. Tron, I guess is another good is it one of those examples? One of those examples, Tron, like putting, is it Kurt Russell in that film, right?
I've
It's
never
Jeff
seen
Jeff
Tron.
Bridges
Jeff
is
Bridges, there we go.
Jeff Bridges,
Jeff Bridges. Oh man,
the
this.
big about the dude.
yeah, the
Yeah, no,
dudes
they
in the remake of Tron. Yeah.
Oh, the
putting
remake. I thought you
putting
meant the
putting the
original. I was like,
CGI.
what?
It's like one of the biggest headache, and that's also another really good appearance into that can be seen in horror films one day. Like, let's say like we got a very old, we casted someone very old, but someone decided to make his origin to make him look young, but CGI. How they become that. How did they become that
Yeah, I
antagonist?
thought that was really interesting in the way they did that with the Irishman, the new
Mm.
Scorsese movie, where they made, did that
De
with
Niro.
De Niro, and
Anti-aging.
it was bizarre, but I mean
I haven't seen that movie.
it was really interesting, and I think they did a really good job, but it was really hard to keep up like what the timeline was, especially in the beginning, because he like morphs his face so many different ways. But it's cool. I mean,
Is
it's
it
a lot.
distracting? That's why I
It
haven't seen
was,
the
yeah.
film yet.
I would say, yeah, it was definitely distracting because you're like trying to figure out how old he's supposed to be. It's definitely distracting.
There's something about, like, even though like those like even like the animated movies now that are doing more of like the hyper realism, like there's something about like you can tell even if it looks perfect, like you can tell there's something not like organic to it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of messes with your head. So even
Yeah.
like that's why like in horror movies, even when like blood is super orange or whatever, and like those
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah, or
just seeing
super.
it, like seeing something physically happen, even if it looks super fake and rubbery, feels more real than.
Yeah.
It's like a creative way of how to make deaths.
Yeah.
Like getting killed by pencil, for example, or
Do you guys think that CGI is kind of an art on its own though? Because
Yeah, for
like
sure.
on one hand, practical effects are beautiful and it's just ideal and most people prefer them, most buffs prefer them. But CGI is so immaculate and it's like too perfect to the point where we can't even perceive how perfect it is, you
Yeah,
know?
there's the uncanny valley that you're trying to cross with that, and so I think it's amazing art, and the stuff that they can do with it is incredible. I mean, it's beyond my understanding of how they do it and how it's
Yeah,
achieved, the way that they can capture it.
Sure.
But there is something about like the energy that comes off of something that's in the room with that character when they're experiencing it and interacting with it is just there's something different when that person is actually getting blood splattered on them when that creature's face is right there and
yeah.
it's not like a ball with a green screen behind it that they're staring at like trying to be freaked out. Like when you're actually seeing the creature that you're supposed to be frightened of, there's just something that's more visceral, more reactive that you
Hmm.
can achieve. That I think you feel it more than you rely on it with your eyes, because obviously visually it looks great, but there's something that goes on when you're experiencing the movie where you just don't connect the same way. And
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
not that they won't ever get there, and I think that's what virtual virtual reality is eventually trying to achieve, is being able to cross that uncanny valley where you can't tell whether you're in it or not. So like I think we're going to get there. It's only a matter of time. But at least for right now, that there is a definite connection that you get when you see whatever's happening in a physical space.
Yeah, for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I feel like CGI on human is like unrealistic. Like looking at Fast and Furious and looking at what's that one film where Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator, for example. There we go.
Mhm.
Like they had this one guy had the CGI in his face because he died into it. Like in my opinion, I say like just don't put him in it or just give it like a 2 second, 2 or minute film and then minute showing and they just take it off.
I
I
feel
find, I
like
find it really.
Gladiator gets a pass because
Gladiator
it's
has
so
one of
old.
those, and Fast and Furious. Like what do you
So,
guys
like
what?
an original Fast and Furious?
Yeah, not the original Fast and Furious where I forgot what's that. I forgot what was it. But it ends with two people looking at each other, just
Pre
stare.
or oh, so that's post
Yeah,
Paul
post
Walker.
post. Yeah, where they just
See,
use
I don't know. I feel like older films like Gladiator, Gladiator's like from what, like early 2000s. I
2000.
feel like they get a pass on the CGI because that's when it was kind of experimental and they were experimenting with new technology.
Oh, don't
But
forget Tron as well.
yeah,
That's just like
but
the.
movies like the new Shark Boy and Lava Girl or like the new Fast and Furious movies that have,
God.
billions of dollars and years worth of developed technology behind it, you know. I feel like there's no excuse for shitty
There's no
CGI
excuse. You
work,
gotta be
you know?
creative. Like you
Yeah.
either find a great graphic maker or just
But
recast
some
someone
people
else.
just don't care to make
Yeah,
something good. Some people are like, I'm getting the check. I'll give the
yeah.
bare
If you
minimum.
you
I
want you
don't
want to make
care.
it look perfect and then get the check. That's how you become
That's
memorable.
integrity. Yeah. Yeah,
Memorable.
that's passion for the craft, not
Well, a lot of those movies, I mean, it is about the money. It's like I mean, sure, they love the movie, but like they're like, yeah, this is a blockbuster film.
yep.
We'll just do all this crazy stuff in post. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lose sleep over trying to get this one shot right, and and do all these like physical effects, but so I will say I love the Fast and Furious movies. I'll watch them all the
You
time.
got to
Hey,
have an appreciation for them because everything is well, a lot of things, especially with the older films, are real. Like all the stunts and everything.
the car
That's all real
chases.
stuff. That's dangerous. You're dealing with 2-ton machines. That's crazy
Getting
stuff.
injured or having your double getting injured. That's the craziest thing.
Yep. You
Yeah.
telling me they didn't want to let The Rock actually drive a car through a city with a giant safe attached to it? Skateboards.
Hey.
Somebody throwing rocks behind it like it's
Hey,
destroying stuff.
hey. Have you
Did
seen?
that happen? Oh my
Have
God.
you seen an actual car just have a rope tied to his back wheel and just fly over to another island?
Oh my God.
Physics right there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
Physics.
I
there's
just
this
love how those movies have turned into superhero movies with
Cars.
cars. It's amazing.
it's Mission Impossible but with
Yeah,
cars right there. Hey,
I'm
and
all
literally just cars. Just say
they just need to
hey.
go to they just need to go to space next, and we'll be good to
Oh
go.
God,
In the
yeah.
Fast and
cast
Furious
cast
franchise?
Elon Musk to it.
Vin Diesel
Yeah.
driving a Chevelle to the moon or some shit.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh gosh, just see the Tesla just doing this crazy thing. Oh yeah, that'll be a great thing to see right there. Just seeing a Tesla flying in space and then flies back, no parachute. Vin Diesel's be like, "All right, family, I'm going back to Earth."
Love it. I'm all for it.
And
I
everything burns up except for Vin Diesel, and he's just flying through space.
and
The
then
car
Ludic
gets burned up in the atmosphere, and he's just floating down to Earth like a majestic bald god.
Love the idea of Elon Musk being attached.
just
I
Elon
love that. That is so funny.
just driving down from Earth from space and just be
He's
like,
just such a weird guy.
it's like, how are you not burned? Family. That's all that matters, guys.
My
Family.
son XYZ 3PO.
It's like, it's like, oh god, man. It's like a minute. It's like the second you met him, he's like, buddy, we're family. You're a part of his family. As soon as you meet him, like a second, you just saying hello to him, and you're walking past, and you just be like, and he just goes up to you, just be like, family, bro. That's it. You're part of the family.
You just got to pass the drink a Corona ritual with him, and you're good to go.
The Corona, you gotta get past getting roasted by Tyrese.
Yeah.
You have to get your ass kicked by Michelle Rodriguez. Then you're part of the real family. You know, but you're missing one person though, and then that's impossible. You're missing just one person. That's it. Yeah, just getting arrested, but you have to get arrested by Paul Walker.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh
And
no.
that's the tradition right there. If you don't get arrested by Paul Walker and you're trying to join the family, yeah, man. There's no way you can't join like that. It's like it's like calling yourself you're a band member, but you haven't passed the audition, or it's like you're saying I got the job, but you only went to the interview. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, let's all admit we all been through that before. Getting into a job and be like, all right, we'll call you back with a smile, and we call everyone saying, hi, hey mom, I got the job, and then, oh son, I'm sorry, we can't accept you at this time. Thank you
Yeah.
for your interest. Goodbye.
Rip.
Never
Rip.
fun.
So
RIP, man.
we got the last 5 minutes to our podcast. So we're gonna go straight to the last few questions, or few last few horror appearance scenarios. So I'm gonna go with my question first, and I'll let my buddy Sam does it. So what made you guys pack the extra stuff? Relating to the surprises and all that. Like what came up? What idea came up to you guys?
I think we were just looking at all of these movies that we're doing, it's like we never want to release a shirt that's just like, well, this movie is popular right now, here's a shirt, and we might release a shirt because a movie's popular because we love it, but like the reason we like all of these movies is because of like whether it holds some nostalgic value to us. And so, I don't know, like Lance said earlier, like these collections, we want it to be more than just one physical product. We want it to feel like a curated, piece, like you're getting, movie memorabilia, if you will, just because, I mean, ultimately, we're not trying to just be like fast fashion or something like that. Like we want to, make something. And we kind of figured like we're probably never going to work in the movie industry, so like this is
Man,
sort of
I
our way
mean,
to like just force ourselves into it by
yeah, I
making
mean,
That's a good way to do it, man.
feel
That's
like
awesome.
feel like yourself, like you're in that part of the movie. Getting the bag, be like, wow, this looks like a sick bag. Getting the sand. Oh, I killed a zombie and it just turned into a sand. I have not seen the film, so I'm assuming when you kill the zombie, no blood comes out, just sand. Daddy gave Daddy gave me a Mac 10 for my birthday. I have to use it. You know, just like that.
That's not what happens, but I love that that's how you imagine the movie going, and that's super
Hey,
rad.
I'm trying to find that film in Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime slapped me with your band, and I'm like, why the fuck am I banned? And I realized my Amazon account is connected to my mom's credit card, cause we're all Amazon shoppers, and we all use one Amazon account. And I got Prime, and I was watching a crap ton of foreign films. And the day that I tried to find Night of the Comics, before I got the long sleeves, it's like it just slapped me with the band,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to wait. I mean, I can sign up right now. I mean, I just have to like explain, like, yeah, this is my mom's card, and she called for distribution, so that was like that was a big no no right there. So yeah, anything you want to ask Sam?
Are you guys ever going to release? Do you guys have any plans to do like face masks or any accessories like that?
uh
Bandanas, joggers, socks,
yeah, I
anything.
mean, we eventually we want to, I mean, I would love to, so I do like all the design stuff for the brand. I mean, personally, like I came from working for other brands. Like I worked in the snowboard industry for a while, and I currently, like, my full time job. Like this isn't my, like, Toxic Coffin isn't my full time gig. This is like side project on side project. So I work like in the surf industry. I work for a surf company down here in North Carolina, and but yeah, I really like the idea of building an apparel line, and eventually we want to add, hoodies, joggers, or whatever kind of capsule that we think
Hoodies.
fits for a film. It's just a matter of, we're not even a year old as far as a brand goes, and we're we're getting there eventually one day for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
you
you guys
guys have
got
an
big
awesome
really
looking
quick,
website.
especially the attention grabber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we to kind of go back to your question, Carlos, was the ultimately we can't be there obviously when you look at the shirt and experience the shirt, and we wanted to be able to give you something that when you open it, it is a full experience, that you're not just getting it. Someone who buys a shirt from us for the first time and has never gotten anything from us, we want them to be excited when they open it. That we want to be able to imagine, like, the first time you open a package, you're like, what? I get all this extra stuff. And I mean, this is so, well thought out, or whatever your initial reaction to it is. We want to be able to give you that bit of joy that can come with the surprise and the thought that went into it. It's not just, we want to show you how much we love the film, and then hopefully you'll love all the stuff that we put in it too, because you love the film, because you got the shirt. So we want to, ultimately kind of be there with you while you're opening it, because we took so much time to put it all together.
Yeah, going from pins to cards to other
Well,
stuff that relates to it.
Yeah.
the other thing too is it allows us to, like, there's so many things, so many aspects to a movie that we like, that we can't put it all on one shirt design. So there's like little stories within a movie that we're like, well, it doesn't make sense for whatever the design is. So if we make a little small knickknack to go with it,
Yeah,
it just adds to it,
yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm really stoked to see how the rosemary. I'm assuming you guys put like some kind of symbol to it. I mean, I'd rather not get spoiled. I'd rather just see what it looks like. It's like I'm looking at a movie right now, and or anticipating it. Just be like, yeah, yeah, this is what happens. You know, as soon as I open it, it's like the ending right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we won't spoil it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the colors on that Rosemary's Baby.
Thanks,
Awesome.
man.
Thanks.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's it for our time. Thank you guys so much for joining. So I guess we'll see in another time then.
Yeah, thanks
Sure.
for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
thank
fun.
you so much for real. Like I didn't expect that. I actually,
Thank you
hey, you guys want
guys.
to come to the podcast? We never been to the podcast before, and I was like, no way. You know, I know you guys been through it before, and it's like, no, we only listen to it. So again, thank you so much for it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's been
Yeah, thanks guys.
All
Yeah, I
right.
mean, ultimately, the whole point of even starting what we've been doing is just to like